there any explanation as to, I guess, what you're going through and why?
Uh, well, I mean, obviously we want to win every game, but at the same time, we still have to have that fun that you're talking about. I think if we knew we'd win every 82 games every year, I don't know how many years we would play in the end, and we got to find a way out of these little moments. And I thought we played for a long time a really good stretch of hockey, regardless of the wins or the losses, and we just kind of showed up and put our best foot forward, and we knew out of the average 10 games, let's say, we'd win our fair share and probably more than the rest of the league, the recipient we had. So kind of just got to dial it right back to that. And very disappointing last night, obviously, the way things happen. Like you're even personally, like on the ice for a first goal against, kind of goes off a skate, comes to the corner. It's like a perfect storm the other way. And you got to make sure that you put yourselves in the situation that those things don't happen.
At the halfway point or almost of the season, with the standings the way they are, is there reason for concern within the locker room?
Well, no, because I feel like we've played, like I said, that stretch of hockey was probably our best in the year and a half that I've been here. It feels like as a team we were just coming every time, and didn't happen again. It didn't matter what happened during the game. We just kind of kept going at it the next day and kept getting better, winning the day. So. Like you look at the standing, obviously it's a little nerve-wracking, and there's more pressure that builds up in all kinds of ways, and that's why we're here, though. We got to enjoy that process, and that's why I said about winning 82 games a year. We wouldn't be doing this many years if we didn't. There wouldn't be the same kind of pressure, and we got to find our way out of it and climb the standings again.
Might it be time to revisit a message that I think you delivered back in November regarding identity and returning to team identity?
Always goes back to that. It's pretty simple. That's why we want to go out there and play with team structure. Again, I go back to this. Like if the league's winning, let's say 6 games out of 10 on average, we do all the things that we do to try and beat that 6 and go to 6.5, get 13 points out of 20, get 14, and that way you can start looking ahead and in a way getting, I don't know if greedy is the word, but you start wanting more all the time. And, you got to be able to handle all kinds of situation, and that includes probably one of our worst performance last night.
After a tough loss like that, does it ground you at all being, a hockey dad, having, a kid in a tournament right now?
I was flooding my backyard rink last night after the game. I got home, all the slush on it. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm going to bed. And obviously the 2 day in between games allowed me to kind of stay up an extra hour and go out there. And in a way, cleared my mind doing it, and the typical Canadian way to spend the winter. But I enjoyed it. And, it allows me, I get home and it allows me to, move past things a little quicker. And it's just, it is what it is.
You can't flick a switch and start playing better, but how do you start playing better?
Yeah, back to identity, team structure that allows us to be predictable to each other, line chemistry, things like that. That's why it's so critical to have that, and just doing the little things. Like one thing for sure I thought we didn't do enough last game is investing in our game down low below the goal line. We're a heavy team. We're big down. Like when we played in Columbus, that's exactly what we applied there. And it's the cliches, but again, for me, it's all to beat kind of that little 10-game stretch. You want to try and beat the league in that regard, and is by outplaying them with your structure and your team play.
You've got a young goalie who's now been thrust into a situation he probably didn't expect. How do you support him?
Yeah, but at the same time, you sit there, you always want more. And like I'm 37 years old, I want more. So I can imagine that he doesn't want more. And different situations happen for a different reason why you get an opportunity. And I'm sure he is excited. He should be excited, and we're excited for him.
You mentioned the first goal last night. Bad bounce goes in the corner.
Yeah.
Finds its way in the back of the net. It seems like when there have been those like weird breakdowns, they've always tended to find a way into your net this season. Like as a group, like how do you have that mental strength to kind of persevere and get through those instances?
Yeah, it tests you early for sure. You're right. No, it's a very good question, very good point. We got to do a good job of that. Like, you got to find a way to not come unraveled and kind of change our game. And I felt like in the third we probably we traded too many chances with them. They had odd man rushes that I haven't seen our team do much or in the time I've been here. So definitely disappointing that, like you said, maybe one goal deflates us. But again, it's our job to find a way, and it's always the first goal is a big one. Whichever way it goes, all the time we always talk about that, and we gotta try and make sure we're on the right side of things a lot more. And again, ownership on myself there to make a better play and make sure.
What's maybe your mindset this year? You've been up and down the lineup playing with different combinations
Yeah.
of players. Like, how do you try to kind of morph your game to play with different?
Yeah, it's not always easy. Like I said, it's the mindset of always wanting more, and you feel like you've delivered. You want to keep delivering, and that's how I approach every game, whatever role I have. I think that's the mindset that allowed me to play this long, and I want to keep having that mindset, keep coming to the rink and being hungry, and knowing that if I'm called upon for a certain role, I can make a difference, whatever that might be. Obviously, if I play with a guy like Timmy, I know I'll be at the net a lot, creating a lot of space for him, picking guys. I mean, his Toronto goal there the other night, I'm at the net. Just little things like that. Sometimes I try and go into a line and kind of see what does the line need that maybe the other guys don't do as well, or obviously will help them more. And Timmy has the puck so much, so he needs guys to be around the net. So, every line, I think when I play with Cuz and Drake, we play down low pretty well. We got to play our cycle game. We got to hang on to the pucks. And again, I felt like for sure as a line, we didn't do that enough last game. We threw a couple pucks early to the slot where we got to hang on to it and build our game and invest in that type of hockey that's going to be tough for them to play against. And then, like every other line, if I play with Nick, Cousin, and, Ridley or whatever, we had a good stretch of hockey, a couple of games there. Same thing, bringing energy, forecheck, physicality, emotion, trying to drop in. Like, you go into a game, it's probably how do we draw one more than the other team and maybe finish +1 kind of type of a game. And so, yeah, that's kind of in a nutshell what I'm going in a game with.
Any explanation as to why the team is going through what it's going through over the last couple of games?
Yeah, I think before the break, I think we played some good hockey, and after the break coming back, I think the third and Toronto was really good. And yeah, last game was, to be honest, pretty unacceptable. Didn't play to our identity, and didn't play hard enough. Didn't work hard enough, I guess. And when we play with, when we're excited to play, I think that's when we play our best hockey. And it was. I hope it was just a one-off, and we can go back at it.
How do you maybe just explain the effort last night? Just after Christmas break and playing the game against Toronto, where you did come back and played well in spurts.
Yeah, I mean, we all want to win. I think that's never going to be a question. It's just, I think we just got to play harder. We got to finish more hits. We got to go through guys, and just everybody's got to do the same thing. And we got to, as a team, we got to find a way to bounce back, and we want to do that next game.
How do you make sure that maybe the frustration doesn't take over, and that you keep kind of your eye on the kind of the game and making sure that you don't let that emotion maybe take over after a couple losses?
Yeah, it's obvious. Every time you lose, it's frustrating. But that's how the league is. You're going to go through stretches where you play well. And then the stretches where you don't play good, you have to find a way to get out of it as quick as possible. And we got to do that. So, hopefully we can have a really good practice tomorrow, kind of get back at it and find our game again.
Last night served as a reminder that you do have to play to your identity. We talked about this with David moments ago, and he brought it up back in November, reminding yourselves of playing to the identity and the standard that identity sets.
Yeah, we all got to be good to be able to win games. The whole team has to be good. And, we weren't. I don't think there was one guy who played good last night. So, other than Levy, he made some big saves in the third. But, there was not one guy on our team who played well last night, and we just got to find a way. That's where we have to play. Everybody's got to be good. Everybody's got to play to their standards, and that's how we have a chance to win. If we do that every night, obviously you're not going to feel good every game, but if you keep it simple that game, we're going to be fine.
Coach, last night, obviously not much of a message to your team. You said last night that everybody to a man knew what was going on and what happened. What was your message today?
We talked about our game, much like we always do. I think it's important that we met today after playing a game like we did last night. It's been a little uncharacteristic of us to, have a really bad game, and I think it was important to get the stink off our game, talk about it, be honest about it, and move forward on to the next one.
You always talk about you're at your best when you're connected. How do you get back to being connected?
Yeah, we didn't skate last night. We looked slow. I don't want to use excuses, but we looked tired. And when you're not skating and you're not moving, it affects all parts of your game. All of a sudden, simple passes are harder. You don't get open. You don't win enough puck battles. You don't execute enough plays. And we're not good last night. We didn't have a lot of good players.
Maybe just, you said tired, like, how do you explain that?
I don't know. I'm not going to explain it. And I know from a simple fan standpoint, when you have 3 days off, that how can you be tired? But I think what people don't understand is when you have 3 days off and you play a hockey game right away, you are using a lot more energy than you normally would in a game because of those 3 days off. And yet that's just part of the league. I don't overthink things that I don't control. And my main purpose now, or our focus, is to get ready to play the next game, much like we would do if we won.
Earlier in the season, you had kind of a couple times where you've been in some lulls that kind of came out of it. How much does that maybe play into maybe your message to the team?
Every part of the year is different. We lost 3 games in a row at home not long ago, and I love the way we were playing. Quite honestly, those 3 games, we probably outplayed the other team and deserved a better fate. And I told the team that we got to keep doing what we're doing, and it'll turn. Last night is a different story. I thought the Toronto game was a bit of a sloppy game. Both teams not perfectly sharp. Looked like a Christmas break game. Last night we just weren't good. That's the news. That's the facts. Now we've got to get back, and we had a stretch of probably 11 games that we really liked our game, and might have been some of our best hockey that we've played in a year and a half. And how do we get back to our game? And that starts with a good practice tomorrow. Not looking back, looking ahead, and being excited to play.
One thing your group is pretty good at too, Travis, aren't they, is turning the page.
Yeah, I think it's important, especially in this year's schedule. You're not going to have time to dwell on the games, whether you play really well or you don't like your game. You have to move on quick. It's going to be a busy month of January, and win or lose, you're going to have short-term memory and get ready to play your next game.
When you're honest with them, they know. Like, you're not telling them anything.
Yeah, I think it's, there's certain moments where you get mad at your team. There's certain moments when you praise your team. There's certain moments when you've got to kind of bring them up. And as coaches, we pick and choose how we do that.
How do you kind of lean on the veterans in the room after a game like that?
Well, we lean on everyone in our room. It's not just the veterans. It's not just the young guys that don't say anything. I think the one thing we've tried to have within our group is, open, honest conversation.
Throughout the course of the season, you've always talked about taking it game by game.
Yeah.
Don't get lost in the minutiae, just worry about the next game. But
Sorry, I can't hear you that good.
yeah, sorry. Just focus on the next game. That's all you can control. But we're at the halfway point of the season now. Do you feel like with the margin of error getting smaller and smaller, do you feel any heightened sense of urgency? And how do you communicate that to your players?
There's urgency all the time. It's the NHL. You look at the standings. It's tight. There's pressure, and I also know over the last year and a half we've talked a lot about pressure and embracing it and liking it. If you want to win a Stanley Cup, you got to like the pressure. We also talk about our game and when we're at our best. And playing with urgency is something that we talk about a lot. So those aren't new topics. It's all not all of a sudden, hey, we're into the second half, it's tight, we got to play good. We want to play good all the time. And if you have that habit and that mindset all the time, then it's not just a change because the season's going deeper.
Just you as a coach, just like Pinto back, like it seems like you finally have like a good bill of health, you know, knock on wood for the next.
Yeah, it's going to be times in the year where you got guys banged up. It's going to be times where your team looks healthy, and but it's not like these guys just come in and they're on these white horses that are going to guarantee wins. It doesn't work that way. Also, you know, when you're hurt or when you're out a while, it takes a little while. Like Pintz isn't going to be the exact same player he was when he got hurt. You see what happens when teams get 3 days off. Sometimes there's rust. There's going to be rust with guys that are hurt. And the one thing about our team is we don't win with 1 or 2 guys, 3 guys. You know, we win as a team, we lose as a team.